Hello guys, the coin here. It's been a while since I haven't made a video, but I just wanted to give a little quick update. These last 8 to 9 to 10 months have been hard on any hodler, on Bitcoin hodler or crypto hodler. It's really been hard, but things are picking up. And like you can see here in my Twitter account, um, there's a lot of news regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption. I know the markets are still down; they're still mainly bearish, but with the consistent news that have been out, just check this one out here. eToro and English Premier League established commercial agreement paid in Bitcoin. So there already are some clubs that are accepting Bitcoin. So mass adoption is here. You can't stop it. I know the markets are bearish for whatever reasons, the ETF delays or whatever. It boggles my mind because the overall situation in Bitcoin and with the emerging markets, like Venezuela, Iran, now Turkey having a currency crisis, hyperinflation, hyperinflation currency. Adoption is starting to be made with them. And it's hard for me to understand in regards of the fundamentals that the guys in the markets or the big whales, although big whales or the whales I believe are losing a little bit of money too, but it's still hard to me to understand where the bearish sentiment is actually coming from because um, news practically every day, if not every week, regarding crypto adoption or BTC adoption is just mind-boggling that people are coming back to the markets. I know that in the beginning of the year there were a lot of people, and still now there are on the red. But the bottom line is, like I used to say, if you're not hodl it, you're losing, because if you sell for peanuts in regards of your investments, even if it is down. I know that people bought a lot of Bitcoin or bought Bitcoin at around 18 to 20K, and now it's back to 6.5, 6.8. Let me check out the market right now. 6.6. And I believe that we are on the turning point. I still know that a lot of people believe that Bitcoin can still go down to the 500s, and I'm not excluding that possibility. It's possible without no doubt, but with the recent market move that Bitcoin has made, especially yesterday or this early morning, it broke up to the upside, this symmetrical triangle, and it's hovering around here, the resistance of around 6,682, and there's still this wedge, I believe it's called a wedge, sorry if I'm wrong, that is going down, and we have to break it. We have to break it and go to 6,902 to maybe really start the real rebound of cryptocurrency, and especially Bitcoin. And I believe that is a possibility. I believe that is starting to happen. Like I said, there's still a lot of people in the markets that are bearish, but in regards of the news that I've been finding, I just don't understand. There is no logical explanation for adoption, and businesses and football clubs accepting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and and the overall sentiment is that the market is going down. Look, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's like I said before on my Twitter account, like we were seeing here. I don't know where the disconnection actually comes from, but it really is a little bit mind-boggling. So like I retweeted 19 hours ago, the first regulated Bitcoin Cash future now is available. I will not talk about good or bad about Bitcoin Cash. It's just another alt currency around like Bitcoin, although it is not Bitcoin. It has some benefits. I still don't know where this Bitcoin Cash, because there's still a lot of controversy and yeah, around the two currencies. But I don't want to go deep into it. That's another theme for the experts, the guys that like to spend time about it. I believe there is usage in Bitcoin Cash. If it is Satoshi's vision or the creator's vision, maybe it is, maybe it's not. We have to wait and see what's up with the markets. I'm not clear on that. I don't know, so I'm not going to speculate much longer on it. Now you can see here Steve Wozniak is now involved in a blockchain startup for the first time. Thai central bank defends cryptocurrencies. So there's a lot of vendors accepting TPay. TPay is actually on the rise too. We're still expecting two top 10 exchanges listing. I don't know if it's still around this last in the end of the week. I believe it will. It's still very undervalued in regards of the projects that are actually going on. But we will see. But I believe it will dramatically swing TPay to the upside because of it, because of the exchanges. Because TPay at the moment is not is on some exchanges, but in regards to volume, it's a little bit lacking. It's not that big. We had that massive rise up when it actually got listed on cryptos, if I'm not mistaken. And we can check on the markets here. So we're talking about $185,171, equivalents to 2771 BTC. So top BTC is the top volume one, but getting listed into a top 10 exchange, yeah, well, the volume's just going to blow up, and we cannot forget that we're talking about 15.5 million circulating supply from a total supply of 19. So it's like I said, there's a lot going on with TPay. They're doing a lot of good moves, so it's one of the coins of the year, I believe. The year on in continuing next year. This, considering the circulating supply and the partnerships with Litecoin, Verge, and the businesses of Token Swiss and everything else, and they're going to launch two exchanges, one decentralized and one centralized. They're going to launch privacy coin certificates, maybe still this month. We still have to wait and see. There's a lot of going on, and they are planning betting platforms and casino platforms that accept TPay. And there is also the project of Ethan, a coin that you can earn when trading on Ethan exchange. So it's just one of the things that is actually going on in regards of the news and adoption in the market and the disconnection of everything else. Like you can see here, UBS backed blockchain platform completes live trading transactions. It's just incredible. Binance expands, employees take salaries in BNB. Abu Dhabi real estate developer considering cryptocurrency and payments plans. The news are just off the charts, and it's for me, it's really mind-boggling that the markets and the guys that are on the markets are still bearish because of it. Don't get me wrong, it still may go down to the 5,000s or even lower, but to be quite honest, for me, in regards of adoption, I know maybe it's not on the mainstream media that all the companies are starting to get in, but it's just a reality. You can't just walk away and say that, yeah, cryptocurrency is dead and Bitcoin is dying. But the bottom line is, in regards of the news, it's the complete opposite. So I know that the shorters, they have a lot of power and they have a lot of money to manipulate the markets, but at some point it will break, and I believe that the break is coming soon, is coming rather sooner than later, because it's like I said, the fundamentals are getting better and better for Bitcoin, and I don't know if the ETF was the main reason that Bitcoin get actually down again to the level of the 5,000s, but it's like I said, it makes little sense to me, because the countries that are experience hyperinflation in their currency, they're going into Bitcoin and other crypto, and other altcoins, and that's just one fundamental thing, because the bottom line is that they know that their currency is devaluating basically every day, and cryptocurrency, and if they buy cryptocurrency, it's actually going up because their purchasing power in their currency is going down. And it's like I said, mass adoption is happening because of these things, and the West really has to worry about it, because it's all kumbaya in especially in the United States. In Europe, start things are starting to tremble a little bit, but the bottom line is these emerging markets are facing some bad times, and if we actually believe that the United States and Europe are not are immune to that, it's just a mistake, because eventually it is a big problem for the U.S. dollar, because if the U.S. dollar is not getting accepted in these countries, it has to be exported back to them, and they still have a massive debt crisis. You can just check here what's going on with the U.S. debt climate. You just have to take a look at it. We're talking about $21.4 trillion in U.S. national debt. The U.S. total debt is around 70 trillion, almost 71 trillion. Debt per citizen, 65,000. Debt per taxpayer, 175,000. And the problem that I have with all this data, with all this U.S. debt or any debt around the world, it's not going down. It's not getting paid, and it will never be paid, because the Fed will print money to oblivion, and that's why inflation continues to go up. Although I know it's around 2%, but every year you lose purchasing power of 2%. And the bottom line is the U.S. dollar is not backed by anything. Well, it's backed by petroleum, But even in that, if they start to lose their control in petroleum, if everybody, and that's I believe why Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein were actually killed, is because they didn't want it to accept U.S. dollars, to sell their oil, and that's why they had to go. That's why these countries are in shambles. I'm not saying that they were good guys, but who are the real bad guys around here? For money's sakes. And I'm not saying that the Americans are the problem. I say that the elites are the problem. It's like I can also talk a little bit about Donald Trump. He has been doing good policies. I will admit that. But in the end of the day, we have to realize that every president in the United States, and I believe in Europe as well, is chosen. I know that he wasn't supposed to win against Hillary, but I guess they tuned the bandwagon in the last minute and they let him win. You know, it's like I said, Trump seems like somebody that wants to do something for America, and till now I'm seeing a little bit of that. But there's also a lot of issues that he talked about before the campaign that he never addressed. So basically, the 9/11 investigation is dead. And if you're a little bit educated and about it, you know that 9/11 was meant to be. You know, there were some guys from Israel, from the Mossad around here, that were documented it. It's on a video in their TV station that they were here to document the 9/11. So the bottom line is, with the help of the United States, it was orchestrated by the Saudis, the United States, and the Mossad Israel. You know, and that's the bottom line. I know many people don't know or can't even comprehend or realize that is the truth, but it is the truth. So the bottom line is, a lot of people were killed because a Jewish guy bought these buildings at, I don't know, $200 million, talking about the World Trade Center, and he earned in insurance around $2 or $3 billion, you know, because it went down. So you do have to understand that somebody made a lot of money because of it, and a lot of people died because of it. And the rhetoric that we got from the media was it was what's it called? I'm missing the word here. Terrorism. So the bottom line is, they went to Afghanistan. They went after a guy that was supposed to live in a cave, talking about Bin Laden. So CNN got a grip on him, and nobody in the intelligence service knew about it. Look, for me, Osama bin Laden was a creation, like the so-called terrorists are around. They're all creations. You just have to take a look at ISIS or ISIL, like Obama called them. You know, it's U.S. The U.S. made everything. The U.S. and the Mossad, because do you know what ISIS actually means? ISIS. The definition of ISIS is Israel Secret Intelligence Services. That's who is behind the ISIS. It's the Americans, it's the Saudis, and it's Israel. Israel has his name in ISIS all over the world, all over the place. I mean, you know, I'm talking a little bit of conspiracy here, but the bottom line is, it's all a big conspiracy, and it's for the same old, same old. It's to enslave all of us. And the bottom line is, we have to smarten up. We have to realize and start to point the finger to the perpetrators, because this hasn't been happening for now, you know, since well, we can call recent history, World War One, World War Two, and the bottom line is, in World War One and World War Two, especially in World War Two, the wrong enemy got defeated. You know, I know that many people will criticize me for that, but Hitler and the rise of the Nazi Party was because of it. Do you know what actually happened before before Hitler got into power? There was hyperinflation in that country. I posted. When did I posted it? Here, just take a look at it. I'm starting to get off topic from crypto, but it's valuable information, and people have to start looking. You know, do you know how much a loaf of bread actually cost in Weimar Republic around 1923, before Hitler got into power? 460 billion Deutsche Marks. 460. And one fact that nobody talks about, the Jews were a population of, I don't know, perhaps 5 to 7%, and they control 50% of Germany. They had the banks, they had the financial institutions, they had the cultural institutions. Everything that made money was in Jewish control. And guess what happened? Germany was suffering. Just take a look how when they wanted to buy something, carts full of money that are completely fucking worthless, and that's what's going on in Venezuela, and that's what happened in an African country which I can't now recall what it's called. Hyperinflation. African. I know it was an African country. Zimbabwe, exactly. Just take a look. Zimbabwe hyperinflation rate. Just take a look at this. And these things, they don't happen for no reason. There's always logic around it. Just take a look at it. $100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars. What could he buy with it? A loaf of bread with it? If things like this happen, it has a reason, and the reason is always because of a central bank. It's because of policies, of money printing policies, and that problem will not go away until we continue to have central banks in the Fed. The Fed is not a public entity. The Fed is a central private bank. As long as they continue to issue any currency around the world, they control it. They can do what they want. They have the power. We have no power, because we lose purchasing power every single year. And eventually, when shit hits the fan and the crash market happens again, and it will, the IMF and Yellen, they say now it will never happen again, but in the end it always does, and because of that.